The name, Dr. Richard Kimball. The destination, Death Row State Prison. The irony, Richard Kimball is innocent. Proved guilty, what Richard Kimball could not prove was that moments before discovering his murdered wife's body, he saw a one-armed man running from the vicinity of his home. Richard Kimball ponders his fate as he looks at the world for the last time and sees only darkness. But in that darkness, fate moves its huge hand.
Fugitive. A QM production, starring David Jansen as The Fugitive, with guest stars Beverly Garland, Alejandro Rey, Pina Pellicer, Peter Helm, also starring Barry Morse as Lieutenant Gerard. Tonight's episode, Smokescreen.
California, the Imperial Valley. Richard Kimball now wearing the name of Joseph Walker. Occupation, farm laborer. The California sun is hot, and there is a strange antagonism in the eyes of the other workers. A hatred which he cannot fathom, but one which Richard Kimball tries to ignore in his effort to keep the secret of his identity.
Tired of all the stealing now. You just stay away from me.
Try that over here.
What's with them? What's with you, Jordan?
Well, I can't stand the smell of skunk. I reckon they can't neither.
What's that supposed to mean?
I have to draw you a picture. We want you out of here.
All right, what's going on here? What's the trouble, Walker?
Nothing.
I don't hold with shouting and yelling, but you better believe it. You gotta top more onions than that, or I'll have to let you go, you hear? They riding you? I got a hunch maybe all the trouble ain't on your side. Paco! Come here. Now, Paco, you talk to your friends. Tell them to lay off of this man. I don't know what the beef is, but I'm gonna stop it fast. Go on, tell them. That goes for you too, Jordan. Everybody, over here! Everybody! Come on, all of you! Look, we got trouble. There's a forest fire up in the mountains just east of here. Alvarez, you better translate for me. Alvarez, come here. Come on up here. Go ahead, tell him.
Dice que hay un fuego en las montañas.
Now, the ranger here is out scouting up some men to go fight it.
Dice que el guardabosque necesita ayuda.
Now, if the fire gets out of hand, it could come down and damage some of our fields. So I'm going to make you a little offer.
Los campos están en peligro.
State has a set hourly rate they pay for this kind of work. You'll get paid that. And we'll keep on with your pay here at the farm, just like you were topping onions all the while.
Dice que si vamos a combatir el fuego, el gobierno nos va a pagar. Y el rancho también.
¿Nos pagan doble por el mismo trabajo?
Eso es lo que él dice.
Muy bien.
All right, now you have to volunteer. You might be away for a couple of days, so the trucks will take you back to pack your things.
Dice que el camión nos va a llevar de vuelta para que empaquemos, que estaremos afuera unos 2 o 3 días.
Now let's go.
Phil? Phil?
Oh, sorry, Captain.
Richard Kimball?
Yeah, I got a hunch.
And I've got a lead on the Danbury homicide case for you. Phil, isn't this just another will-o'-the-wisp?
Well, 3 months ago, I had a wire from a sheriff east of El Paso. A transient he'd hustled out of town. Might have been Kimball. A possibility.
Seen here, too?
That's right. Now, suppose he's working his way west from crop to crop. Lettuce in Texas, carrots in New Mexico, oranges in Arizona.
Well, you've got want bulletins out there. What more can you do?
Only takes a few hours by jet.
How about the Danbury case?
This is a typical pattern, Captain, following the crop. Might turn up in California. I could be there, waiting.
It's only a hunch, Phil. A long-shot hunch. No, I need you here now. Come on, let's get on this Danbury case. Phil.
Paco, I don't want you to go.
I don't want to go either. But if I stay behind, they will wonder why. We shouldn't give them reasons to ask questions.
What about that one? He's going with you?
Yes. Maria makes me afraid. Not for myself. Makes me afraid for you.
I'll go with you.
Don't be foolish. Are any of the other wives going with their husbands?
Pero Paco, yo voy a tener un hijo. Me siento tan sola aquí. No conozco a nadie. Paco, ¿por qué no me contestas?
I told you I don't want you to speak Spanish in front of everybody. They hear us. They're going to suspect something.
No me importa.
Maria.
I don't care about any of them. I love you. I need you. I'm going to have your baby.
Please. If everything goes well, I'll be back tomorrow.
If the baby comes.
You tell him not to come before tomorrow. I want to be here when it happens.
In the truck, everybody. Come on, hurry up. Let's go.
Hello? Who's in charge? Oh, are you in charge here?
I'm the foreman. They told me to expect you, Miss...
Stillwell. Doris Stillwell. County Hospital. I'm sending an intern along later. Look, will you get somebody to help me get these boxes in one of your trucks?
Oh, Walker, over here. I'm glad you're going to be with us.
Thanks.
Nurse Stillwell's going up the fire line with us. Put her stuff into that pickup truck.
No, wait a minute. I'll take that. You just get the rest of the stuff. Here, that's enough for one load. Now, please be careful because some of that stuff is sterilized.
I'm so sorry.
Is anything broken? Oh, it's fine. I'm short on supplies as it is. Now, look, please be careful. If I can't trust you with a simple job like this, I'll get somebody else.
It's called Hidalgo Grove. It's supposed to be the control center, but there's no one around.
Can you see the fire?
No.
Look, Johnny boy, you're supposed to be reporting a fire, remember?
Hey, wait a minute, Harry. I think I hear something. I guess it's the firefighters. It's a cop. Let's see, and there's 1, 2 trucks. There's a bunch of workers in the trucks, and there's a forest ranger in the highway patrol car. 3 trucks, Harry.
Okay, kid, now take it easy. All right, out of the truck. Let's go. Walker, go. Michael, get on this table, get these things over. Get this equipment out of the truck.
You just tell us about it, and we'll put it on tape. If it's any good, I'll drop it into our next newscast.
Now, you've got 10 seconds from my signal.
This is Johnny Peters reporting to you from the fire scene. KRGA is first at the scene, and we are watching the first of the fire... cut it, Harry. That was awful. I'm sorry. Could we try it again, please?
Okay, Johnny. Now, forget all about what they're teaching you in college. Just describe what you see. Now, go.
This is Johnny Peters reporting to you from the fire scene. KRGA is watching the first of the firefighters arrive at this peaceful picnic area, which is going to be the control center for the fire area.
Cardenas, go to the truck and get some shovels. Comprende? Walker? Get some shovels out of the truck. You go with him. Grab that in.
María, ¿para qué viniste aquí?
Paco, where is Paco?
Paco! Paco Álvarez! Paco!
Let me give you a hand.
Paco, María está en el camión.
I'm ashamed of you, Maria.
What kind of a wife is this?
Doesn't obey her husband.
I'm sorry, Paco. Yo quise quedarme, pero no pude. I'm so glad to be here.
Well, where did she come from?
Forgive my Maria, senor. She was hiding in the truck to be with me.
Well, as long as she's here, she can help me.
You take this into the tent, Mrs. Alvarez, and stay there.
Would you bring the table right in here?
Come on, hurry up, fellas. Paco, will you tell your wife not to get any more fancy ideas? Then get aboard the truck. Push it back, fellas. All right, fellas, come on, push back in the truck. Come on, move back there. Give them room, fellas. Come on, get aboard. All right, move it out.
I'm at the fire area, Harry, and it's a big one, boy. Looks like the whole mountainside is burning.
How are you feeling?
Well, I'm a little scared. Maybe you should have sent Sam up or come up yourself.
Oh, you'll do fine. I'm putting you on live in about 2 minutes. Now remember, give us details. What it looks like, what it feels like, and leave the big picture to...
Harry, the firefighters are here. They just came.
Swell. Tell us how they go about it. Details now.
Everybody off the truck. Don't go away without your tools. Everybody line up here. A couple of you guys pass out those tools. All right, as soon as you get a tool, move right out to the line. All right, this man, get that back pump and move out. Go out of the truck.
Stand by, Johnny. I'll give it to you in about 30 seconds.
You better move on down to the control area, son.
Put him on the air in a few seconds.
All right, but you better move out right afterwards. This place can become a furnace if that wind shifts.
Stand by, Johnny. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2.
It's Johnny Peters coming to you from the fire area. There's smoke everywhere, and it's very hard to see. The first of the volunteer firefighters have just arrived and are working very hard at clearing a fire break. But their actions seem pitiful compared to the fury of these flames. Professional firefighters are completely out of view, but... What's this? The airplanes. They must be the Borate bombers we've been expecting. The purpose of the Borate is to slow down the fire so the ground crews can get control of the flames.
Everybody out! All right, everybody on this fire line. line, move out. Get going. Leave everything as it is. Move out. Go on, move.
Smoke!
How bad is he?
I think we ought to get him to the nurse.
Can you drive a truck?
Yeah.
Come on, I'll give you a hand. I better get somebody to help you with it. Hey! Aki! Come here! On the double! Hey, you speak English, don't you?
Yes?
Well, then, get in that truck and go along with him.
All right, climb in the back. See that your friend doesn't bounce around. Now get in the truck.
Look, what's wrong with you? When? I'm not the only one.
What is that supposed to mean?
Why do you choose me? I never hurt you. Why me?
I don't know what you're talking about. Come on, get in.
No! You wouldn't send me back. No! You wouldn't send me back now.
Now get in the truck.
I know who you are. We all know who you are.
What do you mean? But tell me, what do you mean?
You work with the police.
The police?
They tell me it happens very often. Men like you, with hands that are soft. Men who are different. Coming among the workers to betray the ones who are not here legally.
And you really think I'm with the police?
So you are not? You are not with the bothered people?
No.
It is a trick. You are pretending.
Paco, the police and me are at opposite ends of the pole. I've got more reason to run from the police than you have.
I believe you. So that's why you came to the onions field. To hide. Forgive me, my friend. I didn't know.
Hey! What's the matter with you guys? Get going!
Your friend Cardenas, we're taking him to the nurse.
Cardenas?
This ought to feel better. But I wouldn't go back to the fire. I think you ought to just go right outside and find a place to sit down. Look, would you hold this, please? wrong with him?
Smoke. Sector boss sent him down.
He didn't send inhalers, too, did he? He promised me inhalers, an intern, more medical supplies. It's not your problem. Put him on that table.
Who's my Maria?
Oh, yes, you're the husband. Well, she's another one of my medical supplies that ran out on me. I don't know, she's around here somewhere.
Over here!
Tell him to go away.
He's not with the police. And we were wrong. We shouldn't have done to you the things we did. But my friends were only trying to protect Maria and me. They thought if they made things difficult for you, you might go away.
Does that happen often?
Very often. That's why she left the tent.
Let's get another nurse.
No, I don't want to have my baby in a tent.
But Maria, it is time.
Our baby was to be born in a hospital where the papers are.
Papers?
Yeah. We came to this country so our baby could be born a citizen of the United States. But perhaps it is the will of God that it shouldn't be so. There will be no papers here.
The nurse has to fill out the same papers as she would at the hospital.
Is that true, Walker? Are you sure?
I'm sure. Mrs. Alvarez, your baby will be born an American, do you understand? Let's get another nurse.
Now breathe deeply. Breathe. Breathe deep.
What is it now?
She's having labor pains.
Oh, great. That's all I need to make my day perfect. How far apart?
10, 12 minutes, I'd say.
Would you take her inside? Look, would you please check on my intern and my supplies?
Can that thing be used to contact a doctor? What's wrong?
The fire.
What about the fire?
It's all around us. It's closing in on us.
How do you know?
I just got it from my boss. We've got to get out of here. I tell you, we're in a pocket.
Just settle down. Settle down. No need to panic. We're not cut off yet. Okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to me.
It happens. Happens to anybody.
Walker!
You're gonna have to help me get the woman into the truck.
Why?
The baby can't be delivered normally. She needs an operation. A cesarean. Look, would you get some blankets? We're gonna need a lot of them.
Where are you headed?
Down below, we got an emergency hospital case.
Not a chance. Fire's out of control all up and down that road.
What if we made a run for it?
You'd be dead 100 yards in. Better go back to where you came from. It's got to be safer.
All right, thanks.
Well?
The fire's blocked us off. We can't get through.
We have to get through. Isn't there another road?
Fire's all around us. We'll have to go back.
Look, she needs a doctor. Can't you understand that? We have to get her to a surgeon.
Well, maybe we can fly one in by helicopter.
How long will that take?
An hour, maybe. I don't know.
Well, then she'll die. Now, we have to get through. All right, if you won't drive, I will. Look, that girl's life depends on this.
Now, you just stay in the truck.
Are you going to take this truck?
Stay in the truck.
We fed them the tapes, now they're hooking up live.
You're kidding me.
Yes, you could be sitting on top of a really big one, Johnny.
Hey, wait a minute, Harry. Hey, you remember that pregnant woman I told you about? The one that's married to the Mexican who,
Yeah, what about her?
Well, it looks like they couldn't get through to a doctor. They're back.
Find out all you can about it. That's a story they'll really lap up.
Look, if that woman dies, I'm going to hold you responsible. Now, a man would have driven through that fire.
I'll try to get a doctor.
You'll try.
Look, the boy over there has a transmitter. Maybe I can get through.
There isn't time. Don't you understand that? There isn't time.
Hey, how is she? My radio station wants to know all about that pregnant woman. Well, I was wondering, now that you're back, does that mean that the nurse is going to deliver her right here?
Hey, please shut up.
Well, what's the matter? This is a big story, you know. Hey, look, I got a real big chance here, and, well, I'm willing to share it with you. Hey, well, the network's picking up my broadcast live in a few minutes. Well, that means that millions of people will be listening, and, well, I'll give you a plug on the air, and I'll tell them how you try to get through to a doctor and all. Yeah, maybe I'll even interview you on the air. What's your name, man?
Look, just get away from me.
I don't see what you're so sore about. Okay, I'll try to get somebody else.
Nurse.
Yes?
I can help.
Get out.
Oh, please believe me, I'm a doctor.
Get out!
Cornell Medical School. Interned in New York. Advanced study, Guy's Hospital, London. Resident Memorial Hospital in Chicago. I specialize in pediatrics and obstetrics. Until I stop practicing.
Do you seriously expect me to believe that?
The girl's life depends on it.
Well, now let me tell you my credentials. Nursing school, Seattle. Got my RN 5 years ago. Got an appointment at the county hospital last May.
A nurse?
I have a position, a career, a pension at the end of it. Now, do you seriously expect me to sacrifice all of that for a field worker who walks in here and tells me that he's a doctor?
Together we might save her.
I can't. It goes against everything that I...
My friend? Are you a doctor?
Yes, I am, Paco.
Then why does she?
Well, you see, I don't have papers either.
I trust you. You will help my Maria.
I'll try. You have morphine? Nurse, do you have morphine?
In my bag.
Paco.
Ten confianza en Walker. Todo saldrá bien.
How's your wife? Hey, listen, I've been in contact with the radio station. They're going to send up a doctor as soon as the road is clear.
My wife has a doctor.
She has a doctor?
He's my friend.
You mean that...
He's going to save my Maria and the baby with an operation.
An operation? She needs an operation?
Please, no more.
Hello, Harry? Hey, Harry, are you there?
Yeah, kid.
Hey, listen to this. The woman's having an operation. And a farm worker is doing it. A farm worker. He claims he's a doctor.
Ave María, Madre de Dios, ruega por nosotros los pecadores, ahora y a la hora de nuestra muerte. Amén.
Ave María, Madre de Dios. Bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres, y bendito sea el fruto de tu vientre, Jesús.
And here, despite the fire which rages all around us, everything has been pushed into the background except for the two lives which are at stake, a mother and her baby. Mrs. Alvarez, a farm worker's wife, had followed her husband up to the fire area when it was discovered that she needed a cesarean operation to deliver her child. There seemed little hope for Mrs. Alvarez until another farm worker here laid claim to being a doctor. Everybody is wondering who the mysterious medical man can be. Where did he come from, and how did he happen to be working as a farm worker? There are no answers yet, but we'll bring them to you as they develop. Meanwhile, the hearts and minds of all of us are focused on that tent where a baby is being born. This is Johnny Peters, KRGA.
Boy, I'd give an arm and a leg to be in that kid's spot.
Not if we can't get him out.
Yeah. What do you think of the doctor angle?
Oh, probably some drunk who lost his license.
Nice job, Johnny. Stay on top of it now. Try to get interviews with the doctor, the father, anybody who knows about it. We'll tape it and use the best. Now, they're using bulldozers to clear the road. So get on this stuff before a mess of old warriors get up there and beat you out.
Hi, Captain.
Phil, you been listening to the news broadcast today?
Oh, they blasting us on that Danbury case again? I'm giving it full time now.
No, I was talking about the newscast from California and forest fires. Very interesting story. A migrant worker, field hand, they recruited to help fight the fire. They say he's performing an emergency cesarean operation.
California?
Southern California, about 100 miles east of San Diego, near the Mexican border.
My hunch, my long-shot hunch. They say where exactly?
Northwest of the Salton Sea, a place called Hidalgo Grove.
Yeah, here it is. San Diego County. This is Lieutenant Gerard. Give me the sheriff of San Diego County, California.
Hey, look, they're getting through. Everybody's getting ready to move. Let's get with it.
It's a boy.
¡Un muchacho! ¡Felicitaciones, Paco! ¡Qué bueno! Are they all right?
For now?
Hey, congratulations. I mean it, congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, I want to interview. I got my transmitter all set up.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, why not? You're a hero, and everyone wants to know about it.
I'd like to forget it. I'd like you to forget it.
Doctor? I want you to know, I'm not sure how to say this, Doctor.
You've already said it. Thank you.
They got through. We'll be able to get out now. There's going to be questions.
I can't answer them.
My friend. ¿Qué puedo decir? What can I say?
Nothing. Take care of that boy.
Well, I can't figure him out. You know why he won't let me interview him?
Why should he?
Are you kidding after what he did?
What did he do?
Well, he just... Well, what's the matter with you? You were in there with him. He delivered that baby.
He didn't deliver my child.
Oh, come on now.
He did not deliver my son. Not him. It was my friend Cardenas.
Look, who are you trying to kid?
It was my friend Cardenas. Wasn't he?
Yes.
You're covering for him.
My friend Cardenas worked in Mexico as a doctor for animals. He tried. And the nurse helped him. We prayed. And he saved my Maria.
It was my friend Cardenas.
Doris, have you really got a woman up here that's having a baby?
Yes, but she already had it, Doctor. She's in there.
Johnny Peters! Johnny Peters! Over here!
I'm Pat Keenan, KRAV.
This is our nurse.
Hi.
Hi.
We got permission from your station to simulcast your interviews. You got them lined up?
Yeah.
Well, I'll do the lead-in for you. What's your interview sequence?
First the father, Mr. Alvarez, and then the nurse.
Uh-huh. And the doctor last?
Last, but, well, he's really not a doctor.
His name is Cardenas.
He was a veterinarian down in Mexico.
Your story's getting better all the time. You sure fell into one.
Put him on. Yes, this is Lieutenant Gerard. Yeah, I can hear you, Sheriff. Go ahead.
Well, he was a field hand, sure enough, Lieutenant. That operation came out all right. Must have had some real medical experience.
Is it Kimball?
Cardenas is the name.
I don't care about his name. Is it Kimball?
He's a bracero, Lieutenant. Mexican. Mexican national. Check the papers myself.
A bracero doing a major operation?
Lieutenant, you don't have to take my word for it. Like this fire, this operation, it's all big news. Don't you boys have television back east yet? They've been having the interviews on television for the past couple hours. There was the bracero, and the nurse, the father. Now, this bracero isn't your Richard Kimball. Turn on TV. See for yourself.
All right. Thank you, Sheriff.
We're going to bring you the hero of the emergency again. Mr. Cardenas, how does it feel to have saved 2 lives?
I am very proud.
But I understand that you were trained only as a veterinarian.
That is true. In my village in Mexico, I have had to do such things. I was the only doctor. And when one is the only doctor, well, sometimes.
Échame más. Mira, no tengo.
Vamos a celebrar por el niño. To the baby.
¡Sí!
A toast to the doctor. ¡Ah, sí! Que no se nos olvide el doctor Cardenas.
Hey, what about the father? A toast to Paco Alvarez.
To Paco.
Hey, Paco, it is your turn now. You make a toast.
Seguro, Paco. Ahora te toca a ti.
To absent friends.
There is no celebration for a fugitive. Richard Kimball moves on. His objective, always the same: to find the man who alone can deliver him from execution. name, Dr. Richard Kimball. The destination, Death Row State Prison. The irony, Richard Kimball is innocent. Proved guilty, what Richard Kimball could not prove was that moments before discovering his murdered wife's body, he saw a one-armed man running from the vicinity of his home. Richard Kimball ponders his fate as he looks at the world for the last time and sees only darkness. But in that darkness, fate moves its huge hand.
The Fugitive. A QM production starring David Jansen as The Fugitive. Co-starring Chris Robinson, Lou Antonio, Brenda Vaccaro. Tonight's episode, See Hollywood and Die.
Sierra Point, New Mexico. Resident population 562. Transient population 1. Richard Kimball, who currently bears the name Al Fleming. It is now more than a year since the escape.
Hey, Ray! You ready? You're early. Maybe 10 minutes. Bonnie said the dinner will be on the table at 1:15, and the others will be over at 7.
I don't know. After last week, maybe I should give up poker.
Be right back.
I closed up for you, Ray. You just can't wait to see me in bankruptcy, can you?
That's it.
Well, I'd appreciate it if you could close up for me, Al.
Okay. Yes, sir. Fill it.
You got something cold to drink?
Over there in the machine. My buddy'd like to see you inside.
Oh, yeah, just a minute.
Now.
Put your hands down. Get rid of her.
all right, Letty. We're closed up.
Oh, no, I just want a road map.
We're fresh out. You better get moving.
What's the matter with you?
Lady, I said split.
Smile.
Ray!
Les, it's a holdup.
Open the door.
You see me drop that old cat?
Yeah, I saw you. Looks like we're in the clear for now.
What's with now? Those hick cops will never catch this baby. They maybe drive a good plow, but that's it. What is some junk pile, huh? I bet he could do 120 easy. And what's your name, baby?
Please, could you just let me stop and get out?
When you get out, it's going to be for good. You and the grease jockey here?
He means like pow. Pow.
Yeah, both of you guys are pretty stupid.
Shut up.
Both of you are real dumb. And very tough.
Don't put me down, mister. I mean it.
You know, I was setting that old man up for 2 weeks. I was all ready to make a hit. And you two young punks come along, foul it all up. Get $500 under the tray. I was counting on that for a stake.
What's your story, Charlie?
My name is Al Fleming. It's not Charlie.
You working on something?
I did some time. I have to get to L.A.
What for?
A job. Not important.
Why not?
Hey, Vinny. You think he needs some persuading? See, baby.
Please, will you let me go?
You don't want to split before the kickstart, do you?
I just want to get out. Please.
Hey, Vinny. You know, I could really see blowing into L.A. with this chick behind the wheel.
You going to L.A. too?
Hollywood. Me and Vinny, we're gonna take a swim in one of them movie star swimming pools. Right, Vinny?
That's right.
Yeah.
What's taking you to L.A.?
What's the difference? We won't make it.
You got a different ending for that story?
You ever hear of a roadblock?
Yeah, roadblock.
If you're interested, There's a dirt road up ahead. Go straight through the Flagstaff. It'll never be covered if you're interested.
Coming up on the right.
Take it. I'm a pro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is KGBM in Gallup, interrupting our Saturday social. Approximately 30 minutes ago, 2 gunmen held up Ray Loomis's gas station in Sierra Point, killed Loomis, and abducted his helper, Al Fleming. Also abducted was a young woman, driver of the late model white Continental in which the killers made their escape. All listeners are urged to report any information to...
It's a blast!
We'll have to get rid of the car.
What are you selling? You want us to walk?
You keep driving this car, you'll advertise yourself right into the chair. Buy a car in Flagstaff.
Buy a car? You cuckoo, Daddy. Why should we buy a car?
So we don't get caught.
Vinny, I don't like this guy.
I'll live through it.
Maybe.
Okay. We gotta buy a car. What do we use for dough?
You got $30, $35. I got close to 100. That should buy something.
Hey, the little lady's got some dough. Little lady puts 300 in a pot. Vinny? How about you, Daddy? You got a bundle waiting in L.A.?
About 150,000.
A job?
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe you need a couple of good boys.
We don't want him, Vinny. We've been doing okay without something hard-nosed sounding off all the time.
I decide what we want.
Look, he comes on pretty strong in the words department. You listen to me. I got a feeling we're gonna mix it up a little pretty soon.
It could happen.
When we do, I'm gonna have the gun. I don't trust you, Al, Daddy.
How about you, Benny?
Miles is my buddy.
Chew on that, Daddy.
I want you to know I'm on your side.
Come on. I'm gonna let that cat out in public?
He's a grease jockey. He knows cars. You buy it, and I'll be watching. Come on. Keep your eye on her.
Yeah.
You seem like a pretty smart fellow to me. How'd you get mixed up with a nut like that?
Look, Miles is okay. We were in a home together in Chicago, the Markham Home for Boys. He's okay once you get to know him.
Not bad.
Just came in today on a bankruptcy. Doesn't even have 25,000 miles on it yet.
How much?
5 1/4.
I'll give you 400.
475, cash.
Sorry, Mac.
Okay. 4 1/4. But only because you look like a nice guy.
Yeah.
That's only 400.
That's because I'm not a nice guy. We'll take the car now. Come back for the rest of these papers in the morning.
Certainly.
Yeah, you fill in the rest. I've already signed it. Thank you.
Hey! Hold it a minute! Hold it! Lucky I caught you. I never like to see a buyer drive out of here with anything wrong. Jimmy! My boy will have it fixed in just a minute.
What's wrong?
A taillight's out. Nothing will bring a cop like a busted taillight, and they'll soak you $10 for it, too. Jimmy, fix the taillight. It'll just take a minute.
What happened? Nothing. We just picked ourselves a square chick, that's all.
Maybe she just has good taste.
You shut up.
Okay. Come on, we got the other car. Let's move it over. Come on.
You got a crank for it?
Now, he says it'll get us there. But we gotta ditch the other car.
Why don't we just leave it here?
We can put a note on the windshield and tell the cops we were here.
Okay, I get the picture, but where do we stash it then?
I got an idea. You two get in the other car. Follow me.
Now, what's that all about?
Well, you struck out, kid, so now it's my turn.
Well, who elected you? Who even said you're in the company?
Okay, Vinny?
I don't know. She could be in a lot of trouble.
I say we dump her right now for good.
Afraid I'll make you look bad? Come on, follow me.
I don't like him calling the shots.
Now, he's good. You should have seen him operate with that jerk salesman.
I still don't like the way he swings.
Well, Benny, I don't think he's smart enough for the LA deal.
Oh, who needs it? Who needs your lousy LA deal?
We need it. You and me.
You just gonna let him take off?
With the chaperone. You follow in the other car.
I guess I better go in.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought you said your folks were asleep.
Yeah, but if Mom ever woke up and saw the time...
Why here? See the newspapers?
That's the Ferguson house.
So what?
They're away on a vacation.
Maybe I better call the police.
Oh, no, then I'd have to explain to Mother why I was out so late.
No cops.
Let's go.
No. You stay here.
I'll take 2 of whatever you get.
Right.
And holy onions.
Right.
Now's your chance, Daddy. Hey, let's see the big lover operate, huh? Oh, well, go ahead. You just forget I'm here.
Yeah?
Give me 5 cheeseburgers to go and 4 coffees, black.
Got a long haul or you just hungry?
No, I'm having a party in the back of my truck if it's any of your business.
Watch it, Mac.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I've got some friends out in the car.
Just making conversation, mister. I couldn't care less if you had Liz Taylor out there.
I got it. You only work the swing shift.
Maybe I don't like an audience, kid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course, huh? You want me to split. Well, Daddy, never say I didn't help a buddy out. Maybe when I get back, you'll have the nerve to hold her hand.
How about that? Somebody could have stolen the car.
I remember what I said earlier. Pull away. Just relax. He's got to think I'm making time. Now, trust me.
Who are you?
It's not important who I am. What's important is we get away from those two.
How? They're animals. They're going to kill us. How do we get to the
We
police?
stall for time. Maybe they'll buy my story. Just follow my lead, huh?
Do you want to hear something funny?
What?
I was supposed to be married yesterday. Bridesmaid, gown, rice. The whole thing. And I ran. I kept thinking, it's too soon. I'm not ready yet. I want a little excitement. I haven't done anything. I haven't seen anything. I'm just not ready to settle down. I couldn't face it. I couldn't. Larry with his button-down collars and his household budget, saving 10% of his salary every week. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
To think for a little bit of excitement. Oh, I want to go. I want to go home. Do you think we'll ever really get out of this?
We'll get out of it.
If you can tear yourself away, you owe me $3.90.
Oh, sure. There you go. $4.
You sure a 10-cent tip won't break you?
I'll give you another tip. Your prices are too high.
Hey, May. Is that cherry or boysenberry? That pie.
Raisin. Hope you wear glasses when you're driving.
We better eat on the way. We hit the front page. Front page?
Why don't we make it harder for them?
How?
They're looking for 4 of us. We could lose one.
Who do you got in mind?
Her. We got no use for her.
You've got no use for her. Look, you wanted a hostage, you got a hostage. So hang on to her. She's the only insurance you've got.
Okay. For now.
That's mine.
I know. Hey, baby, the nights are too cold out here for this.
Please.
You wear something like that around the pool, and I'll cancel my order and they're movie queens.
Will you please stop that?
Now, that's enough.
Enough of what, Daddy?
So just drop it.
Anything you say.
Now, what did you do that for?
It was too crowded.
We'll be back with more music right after I bring you 5 minutes of the latest news.
Shut up.
From Geneva comes word that the latest disarmament talks have reached a stalemate. While here at home, the Air Force has announced the successful launching of a new air-to-air missile. Flagstaff police report that the getaway car used by the Sierra Point bandits has been found. It had been hidden in the garage of Mr. and Mrs. Donald Ferguson, who were on vacation. Registered in the name of Joanne Spencer, the car was reported by 18-year-old Carl Emery, who saw the bandits secreting it in the Ferguson garage. Police are now examining the car for fingerprints and hope shortly to have detailed descriptions of the 2 gunmen. From Havana comes word that...
Looks like our leader swallowed something bad. Or maybe heard it.
What have you got to laugh about? Tie your prints right into that killing.
Not us. We're model citizens. Didn't you know that?
The cops don't have our prints, Daddy. We've been stopped, questioned, we even been brought in, but we never been charged, we never been booked. No prints, no record, no nothing. They got yours, though, don't they, Daddy?
Do they have your prints?
They've got him.
We're getting real close, Al.
Yeah, real close.
So what about it?
What about what?
What about what? That big job in L.A.
Vinny, it's always been you and me. You find the jobs, I find the kicks. Two's company, three's a bomb. All we want is that pool and a couple of dames.
What he's too stupid to understand is that if I cut you in, you can buy your own pool. If I cut you in.
Now, you said you needed a couple of boys?
Now, boys I can trust, not him.
What am I, some kind of freak or something?
Next question.
Hey, you knock it off!
Look, he's got a point. If we're in, we got enough dough for all the kicks in the world.
In what? We don't even know what this big job is.
Well, you didn't think I was going to let you know where 150,000 is sitting, did you? I'll tell you this much. It's all in cash. It's in a safe. Big construction company. And I've got a partner.
You got a partner?
Yeah, a buddy of mine. Got the combination of the safe, the front door key, the watchman's schedule.
What's he need you for?
He wants to be somewhere else when it happens.
Sounds good, Miles.
Why should he cut into other guys?
Need a guy for the lookout and a guy to take care of the watchman.
How much is that worth?
5,000 apiece.
10 grand. That buys a lot of kicks.
There's paper over there. Get it, kid.
How about that? What? Hey, baby. Do you know you're sitting next to a big celebrity?
Get up.
Don't touch me!
There's a chance to get away now.
Let go of me! Let go of me!
Look, it's true, I'm Richard Kimball. Well, what it said in the paper, I didn't do.
I don't believe you. I'm scared. Scared of them, scared of you. Now let me
You'll be
go!
here any minute now. Come on. Glad you could make it. I didn't know how I was going to get her back to the car.
Why don't we forget the whole thing? I mean, we could just leave her here. You know, like, pow.
You want every car on the freeway down here?
Oh, you're getting awful choosy, Daddy. Last time you knocked off a dame, it was in your own house.
Not here.
Well, it's gotta be soon. She might make it next time.
There's not gonna be next time. Come on.
We'll look for a place up in the hills.
We want an audience? It's still light.
Well, it won't be light for long.
You read the papers. We're gonna stick around here and make the hit and get out tonight.
Okay, so we knock off the chick first.
I haven't got time. Now, look, I gotta go all the way across town. I gotta contact my partner. I gotta pick up the key. I don't know, maybe you two ought to play it alone.
Now, take it easy, Al. We're not fighting you.
Maybe he's right. Three's a bomb.
Look, well, why can't your partner meet us somewhere around here?
Yeah, just phone him.
Gotta have time to set up an alibi.
Get him over here. And while he's on his way, we'll take care of the girl.
Okay. Phone booth over there.
Thought you might need a dime or something.
You afraid you'll miss something?
Now, don't you dig togetherness, Daddy?
I'd like to speak to Tim Cates, please. And tell him it's important. Hello, Tim. This is Richard Kimball. That's right. I guess I am pretty big news. That's why we've got to make the hit tonight. I'm too hot to stick around. I'm going to use those two boys that heisted the gas station. Look, I want you to meet me somewhere. I can't take the chance of going all the way to meet you. Now, hold on. And meet me at Steele's Motor Lodge on Ventura and Costello. How soon can you make it? And we'll give you enough time to set up your story. I'll be registered under the name of Al Fleming. I'll see you soon.
You sure you can trust this Cates?
Well, the question is, can he trust me? Well, for that matter, can you?
All set?
Yeah, he's gonna meet me here in half an hour.
Good. Now we can take care of the chick.
Yeah, you two go ahead. I want to be here when my buddy arrives. We'll wait for you.
What do you mean, Daddy?
Well, we can't take a chance on her making a break again. You two get rid of her and meet me back here.
Let's talk.
What's a big mystery?
There's no mystery. It's just that I don't like the idea of you staying here. I don't think Miles likes it either.
It says it, Daddy.
I have to meet my partner.
We know. Miles and me figure you haven't been leveling with us. Now, we anteed up pretty good, and we just want to make sure we're around when you split that pot.
Are you afraid I'll cut you out?
That's why you and Miles are going to take the little lady for a ride, while I wait here for your buddy.
He doesn't even know you.
So I'll make a new friend. Besides, Al, baby, you know a lot more about killing dames than we do.
All right. You register here in the motel under the name Al Fleming. My partner's name is Tim Cates.
All right, let's do it. You drive. Bad, baby. Could have been a ball.
Where are we going?
I don't know. There's nobody around.
Make a right up there. I'll pull over by that house.
Who's there? Tim Cates. Why, this isn't Kimball.
No, Mr. Cates. But he'll do for openers. Let's go. Hold. There it is.
Pow! Well, this is as good a place as any.
Give me the gun.
Sure, Daddy. No, you already got yours.
And so did you. Remember the old man?
That was a man. I've never killed a woman before. Till now.
He'll keep for a while.
Well, you better go. Take the car.
You'll be all right?
I'll get help at one of those houses up there. The people. I'll be fine. Please, before they find you.
What it said in the newspaper. I didn't do it. It's important to me that you believe that. Do you believe me?
Go on. Go on.
Which way did he go? Even a few minutes could make a difference. Which way did he go?
That way.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Jackson. You were lucky, miss. Kimball was the bad one.
Yes, I know.
A city with 10 million lights casts 100 million shadows, each one only a passing refuge for a man on the run. A man like the Fugitive. name, Dr. Richard Kimball. The destination, Death Row State Prison. The irony, Richard Kimball is innocent. Proved guilty, what Richard Kimball could not prove was that moments before discovering his murdered wife's body, he saw a one-armed man running from the vicinity of his home. Richard Kimball ponders his fate as he looks at the world for the last time and sees only darkness. But in that darkness, fate moves its huge hand.
The Fugitive. A QM production, starring David Jansen as The Fugitive, with guest stars Geraldine Brooks, Murray Madison, John Larkin, David White. Tonight's episode, Ticket to Alaska.
Freighter Alaskan Star, 6 hours out of Seattle, Washington, carrying a crew of 14 with accommodations for 12 passengers. One of them, Richard Kimball, now wearing the name Larry Tallman. Destination, Alaska, the 49th state. Objective, to earn a large sum of money in a short period of time, and thus underwrite the next phase in the search for his wife's killer.
Fine, that was exactly right, Miss Wyatt. Try it once again, shall we?
All right.
I'll say when.
Pull!
By Jove, you must have equipped your gun with radar, Miss Wyatt.
Would you like to try another round?
Master.
Steve?
Not here, Celia. I'm on duty.
You've been avoiding me ever since we left Seattle.
Oh, it's just that I've been too busy.
You weren't too busy on the last trip. Steve?
Celia, please, now. I've got work to do. Come on, Celia.
Won't you join us, Mr. Tallman?
Well, I'm not very good at this.
Oh, you're not very social. I've been watching you.
Maybe I've been waiting for the invitation.
Oh, all right, I'm shameless. But I intend to take full advantage of this trip.
Skeet shooting originated in England, you know. It didn't get to the colonies until the turn of the century.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
1870, Mr. Moorhead.
What?
Yes, it was just after the Civil War. Right after McCaskey perfected the trap.
Oh, really?
Would you like to try?
Okay. Let that bird fly.
Oh, it's a clay pigeon. Bird is badminton. Say when.
Okay.
This your first trip to Alaska, Mrs. Banning?
Yes. Mrs. Banning and I are having a wonderful trip.
Now, if there's anything you need, just...
Nothing, thanks. Thank you very much.
You don't have to bow to him, George. He's not a policeman.
We should have flown.
Why? This is lovely. Next week, Alaska. And then Brazil. Much more educational this way.
Yeah. Running.
But first class. With enough to feather a lovely nest when we stop.
I don't know. When the company discovers a shortage...
Oh, George, not for months. Stop second-guessing yourself. Besides, I'm with you all the way. It'll be our second honeymoon. With our first 100,000. Relax, darling.
Adrian,
I know. You did it all for me.
Launch coming up off the stern, sir.
Half speed.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Say when.
Okay.
Oh!
Jolly good show.
A launch. What would a launch?
What was all that about? Mr. Vale missed his connection in Seattle. He's a construction man.
Well, he really seemed to be looking us over, didn't he?
Your radiogram said that you were on your way to a construction project in Anchorage.
Yes, that's right.
Well, if you're in such a hurry, why didn't you fly?
I'm here to make an arrest.
One of my crew?
One of your passengers. I have to make an identification first.
An excellent spread, Captain.
Thank you, sir. It isn't the Ritz, but we don't exactly go undernourished here.
Mr. Vale, we've all been wondering about your late arrival. Well, aren't you going to tell us about it?
No secret. I was held up by a business deal in San Francisco. I promised myself 8 quiet days on my way to Anchorage. Here I am.
How's your husband, Mrs. Banning? Isn't he hungry?
Oh, I'm afraid he's not a very good sailor, Mr. Tolman.
He's an excellent listener, though. I was telling him before dinner about my plan to bag the Kodiak bear, largest carnivore in North America. Oh dear, I sound very glamorous. Actually, I'm not a hunter. I'm just an old-fashioned salesman. Guns. I can be a bit of a bore on the subject. Maybe that's why Banning lost his appetite, what?
I wouldn't lose my appetite, Mr. Moorhead. Actually, last year I was Colorado State champion. Pistols. For women, of course. Guns have always fascinated me.
I must seek your receptive ear, Miss Wyatt.
Well, I hope your husband feels better, Mrs. Banning.
Very much impressed with your entrance, Mr. Vale. It tells me a lot about you.
Oh, really?
Yes. You're the sort of man who gets where he wants to go.
Oh, I was just lucky I was able to catch up.
Catch up? With who? You did say that this was vacation, didn't you?
That's just what it is. What brought you aboard the Alaskan Star, Mrs. Banning?
I'm running. From charity bazaars, and luncheon with the girls, and dull cocktail parties and,
What about your husband? Is he running too?
Oh, no. Poor guy. He loves ocean travel. He calls this our second honeymoon. Ah, he must be feeling better. Yes. Excuse me.
I searched his bag, nothing. Just a couple of engineering manuals.
Well, you see, what did I tell you? He's no policeman. Come on.
Oh, Cecilia. I missed you so much. Those first weeks, they were pretty bad.
You missed me?
Honey, it's been almost 3 months. I expected you to write. I was worried sick.
How do you think I felt?
I don't know what you mean.
Steve, I don't understand. I don't understand you. I waited. That night at the wharf, I waited till almost midnight. Until the watchman made me leave. Then the next morning, I went to the union office. Steve, what happened? What happened?
Honey, I sent you the telegram. And you knew I wasn't coming in.
You said you were crazy about me. You said it.
Hasn't changed. Nothing's changed.
You still love me?
Wait till we get to Anchorage. You see.
Steve, that telegram. I never got it.
Thank you, Miss Decker. I'll look after that right away. Good evening.
Good night, Mr. Tom.
Oh, you're in the right stateroom, Mr. Tallman. I hope you don't mind doubling up. It's just for tonight. All the other unused cabins are loaded with storage. So that the one is cleared.
No, it's no problem. Glad to have you.
Oh, good. Oh, I found this book on your bed. Are you in the lumber business?
I work at it.
Been at it long?
No, not long.
Mm-hmm. Why did you leave your last place?
I ran out of trees.
I am asking too many questions.
And so I'm going out deck and have a smoke.
Don't let me chase you.
I don't know.
Mr. Tom, and you're turning into a real professional.
I forgot to tell you I was state champion in ski. For men, of course.
Dead. Shot.
The Alaskan Star, 2 days out of Seattle, Washington, on the open sea. At 2:15 p.m., a radiogram is received, placing the freighter under jurisdiction of the United States government.
From the Home Office, sir.
Proceed to Ketchikan. Hold all passengers for investigation by federal authorities. War Crimes Commission suggests you ascertain Korean War background of all concerned with special reference to International Brigade.
War Crimes Commission? That means Vale must have been after her.
A war criminal. Or at least it looks like it. It also looks like the man Vale was after got to Vale first.
Well, sir, shall I assemble the passengers?
Yes, Mr. London. In the dining room, please. Oh, what about the shakedown?
Stem to stern, sir. No sign of the gun. Probably thrown overboard.
Vale's effects?
It's just this one suitcase.
His wallet?
Wasn't on the body, sir.
That probably went overboard, too. 4 harpies of the sea. Shipwreck. Epidemic. Mutiny. Murder. So far, I've been spared with nothing more serious than a squall off of Antibes. And now this. No, go get the passengers, Mr. London.
Why are you pointing a finger at us? What about the crew?
For the past 24 hours, Mr. Lund and I have been cross-examining the crew, finding out where they were, what they might have seen.
What about the officers?
I have written statements from all officers, including myself. And in any event, Vale told me when he came aboard that he was here to identify and arrest one of the passengers.
Is the good captain going to act as both judge, jury, and prosecutor?
I'm authorizing this hearing under maritime statutes covering contingency and disaster. I will turn my findings over to the federal authorities at Ketchikan. Mr. Lund here will conduct the interrogation, and it will be under oath. Miss Banning.
No, I didn't hear the shot, but I heard the scream. And I ran with the others to where Miss Decker was standing over Mr. Vale.
Who was with you at the time?
Well, I was skeet shooting with Mr. Moorhead, Mr. Tallman, and Miss Wyatt. My husband was in a deck chair.
Did you or anyone else leave the skeet shoot area just before you heard the scream?
No, I didn't. No, neither did the others.
When was the last time you saw Miss Decker before you heard her scream?
Well, I hadn't seen her all day.
Oh, yes, you did. I saw you just about an hour before I found the body.
Oh, that's right, I forgot. We met in the ladies' room off the salon.
Mrs. Banning, were you ever in military service?
Well, now, that's an odd question.
Were you?
No.
Mrs. Banning, your statement, all of your statements, being taken under oath. Now, let's not run the risk of a charge of perjury. I have forwarded the entire passenger list to the authorities.
Well, I was with the American Red Cross, but that's not military service, is it?
When was this?
The Korean outbreak. I met my husband in Japan. We were married in Kyoto.
Your birthplace is listed as, Novgorod, Russia?
Novgorod. It's a village outside of St. Petersburg. Yeah, that was before the communists changed it to Leningrad.
I wouldn't have known you were foreign-born, Mrs. Banning. You have no accent.
Well, I was 3 months old when my family fled for their lives. They were White Russian. I was educated in an American mission in Shanghai. I'm very grateful to the Americans. After I married George, I became an American citizen. And proud of it.
Did you know Mr. Vale?
No, I hadn't met him until yesterday.
Mrs. Banning, did you ever hear of the International Brigade? The International Brigade was a top-secret fighting unit formed during the Korean War by the United Nations to spearhead attacks behind enemy lines. Ever hear of it?
No.
Thank you, Mrs. Banning. There may be more questions later.
I'm a controller for a plastic firm in Seattle. I'm on a 4-week leave. Adrian and I covered Europe and the States, so we thought it was about time we took a look at Alaska. And maybe the Philippines and sort of a second honeymoon in Japan.
Did you know Mr. Vale?
Never set eyes on him before.
And your last contact with him?
At breakfast. With the others.
You were in Japan during the Korean outbreak?
Supply officer, Ho-Chan Depot, 8th Army. But I never heard of any international brigade.
Now then, Mr. Banning. Where were you between breakfast time and the skeet shoot when you heard Miss Decker scream?
That's right. I was planning to do some hunting.
What guns did you bring with you?
A Wesley Richard, 12 and 20 gauge, also a Holland and Holland, among others, including the usual sidearms. As far as I know, they're tucked away in cargo per regulations. I might add, had any one of them been used, including the smallest, a Webley and Scott, it would have blown Vale's head off.
Mr. Moorhead, nobody is saying that any of your guns is involved here.
I was anticipating. Has the death weapon been found?
No. Carry on, Mr. Lund.
I expect it was thrown overboard, as would Mr. Vale if the killer could have managed it.
Why do you say that?
That he was a fairly heavy man. I know if I were to kill a man, I wouldn't leave him lying around to be discovered.
Did you know him?
No, sir, not at all.
Mr. Moorhead, what about the skeet shooting gun? Couldn't that have been used?
No, I'm afraid not, my dear. The skeet gun fires buckshot. Mr. Vale was killed by a bullet.
Mr. Moorhead, have you ever been in the Army?
Indeed, I have. World War II and Korea.
How did you serve in Korea?
Infantry officer, 3rd Battalion, Fieldstone Unit. Operating out of Cheonju. A ragged time it was.
When you were there, did you ever hear of the International Brigade?
I did.
What do you know about it?
Not very much. My battalion was just another fighting unit. The International Brigade was very hush-hush and high priority.
You knew this officially?
No, it was rumor. It was supposed to be a sizable organization. 14 nations represented in ratio to their Korean commitment. The United States, Britain, Australia, France, Greece, others.
Do you know any reason, Mr. Moorhead, why the War Crimes Commission would be interested in the International Brigade?
Yes, I do. Not many people know the brigade was annihilated on its very first mission. Or there may have been a few survivors. Obviously, there was a leak somewhere. Secret information got through to the enemy. A betrayal, everyone thought at the time.
But you yourself had no contact with the brigade?
None at all. Mr. Lund, was Vale here to investigate the brigade's destruction?
Mr. Moorhead, would you please allow us to ask the questions?
I have offered a great deal of information. And as this is informal...
Mr. Moorhead.
I think it might be helpful to know exactly who Vale was and what he was after.
Mr. Moorhead, would you please confine yourself to answering?
Now, Miss Decker, you were on the foredeck when you discovered the body. What were you doing there?
I was expecting to meet someone.
Who? Was it Vale?
No.
And did you know Mr. Vale?
No.
Just a moment, Mr. Lund. Miss Decker, who was it you were expecting to meet?
I can't say just yet.
Miss Decker, do you realize the position that you were in? You discovered the body. You were at the scene expecting to meet someone. Now, I urge you.
It wasn't Vale.
Who was it? Miss Decker, I ask you again.
I didn't do it. I never saw Mr. Vale before.
Mr. Lund will return to this witness.
I've been hired by the Larkspur Lumber Company. They have a new track opening near Seward. Were you in Korean service, Mr. Don? No, I had a punctured eardrum. I see. Did you know Mr. Vale before he came aboard? Nope. You shared your cabin with him. When was the last time you saw him alive? In the cabin about a half an hour before Miss Decker found him. And you were the last one to see him alive. Not exactly. The murderer was.
No, I didn't hear the shot.
You were on the foredeck just after breakfast, were you not?
Was I? I don't remember.
Yes, I saw you from the bridge, just before I went below.
Oh, I only stayed for a minute. I assure you I did not hear the shot. And, Captain, my hearing is very acute.
Thank you, Miss Wyatt. Well, my apologies to all of you for this interrogation. All except one. Especially since the authorities will be waiting for you at Ketchikan to put you through it again. That'll be all for now.
Come in. The captain would like to see you in his quarters, Mr. Tallman. I'll walk along with you. All right.
Come in. Thank you, Mr. Lund. Sit down. Mr. Tallman, we live in a remarkable age. I can remember when wireless was a fairly new thing on ships. Today we have advanced technology. We have radar, radiograms, ship-to-shore communications. They shrunk the oceans of this world. Larry Tallman, 1443 Cecil Avenue, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Next of kin Gladys Tallman, sister. There is no Cecil Avenue in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There is no Gladys Tallman nor Larry Tallman listed in the directories of that city. Now, the information supplied me by the other passengers has all been verified, and I'm satisfied that these people are who they say they are.
Lack of statistics is not a crime, Captain.
Mr. Tallman, it takes a unique talent to slither through the 20th century without numbers. Now, I have to assume that you didn't suddenly spring into life like Dionysus from the thigh of Zeus. At your age, you must have earned your living for 10 or 15 years.
I've been around, yes.
Where?
In there.
Well, name 3 or 4 places since you were 21. I'd be very happy to have them checked out.
I've forgotten most of the places I've worked at. I'm not a one-place guy.
Mr. Tallman, I have no heart for inquisition, but I have even less heart for murder. Now, unless you can properly identify yourself, I'm going to be forced to wire Ketchikan.
And tell them what?
That you could be guilty. A man with no past may be hiding one.
"36 hours to Ketchikan, Alaska. 36 hours to the moment when Larry Tallman will be turned over to the federal authorities."
Come in. Well, I expected to see you in irons, or whatever it is they do on American ships. I saw Lund dragging you up to the bridge. I gather you're high on the captain's list.
I didn't kill Vale. I had no reason to.
That's all our stories. According to the straw vote in the salon, the captain was right about you.
How was your voting?
Abstained. I was impressed by your placing yourself as last on the list to see Vale alive. It was a needless admission unless it was honest.
Thanks, I need a friend. Mr. Moorhead, you know a lot about guns. Do you think you could tell from the wound what caliber bullet killed Vale?
I think so. Why?
I have an idea he was killed with a small caliber pistol. If I'm right, I think I can clear myself.
Well, clear me, too. I don't own a small caliber pistol.
The body's down below.
I don't think the captain would appreciate our interest in the deceased.
Well, I have to find out. I thought you might have helped me.
Oh, all right. Let's find out what Mr. Vale can tell us about his death, huh? No doubt about it, small caliber. Probably at 22 or 25. My guess is at extremely close range.
Well, I hope this helps. I'm very grateful.
I'm repay the favor by keeping me informed on anything you come up with. I've got a stake in this too, you know.
I'd be glad to.
Or I'll scream for help.
You're going to explain that gun that fell out of your bag last night.
Gun?
That 25 caliber pistol you've been carrying. Now, where is it?
I don't know
Vale
what
was
you're
killed by a gun just like that. Now, where is it?
I never had it. I never had it.
Look, I found these in your dresser.
That's right. I forgot. I did have the pistol. It was stolen yesterday morning.
Let's tell the captain about it.
All right.
Miss Decker, you certainly must be aware of the significance of these cartridges.
I told you the gun was stolen.
Why were you carrying it in the first place?
Captain, that was a search for the missing weapon, right?
Yes.
And everyone was searched, all the cabins. Well, this box of cartridges overlooked. I had no trouble finding it.
Mr. Lund, can you explain how this box of cartridges came to be overlooked when you searched Miss Decker's cabin?
Well, maybe she hid them outside her cabin.
Hid? Oh, I never hid those cartridges at all.
All I want to know, Captain, is why weren't they found in the shakedown?
Why weren't they found, Mr. Lund?
Tell them, Steve.
I asked you a question, Lund. Lund?
I never searched her cabin.
Why not?
Because she's an old friend. I said I wouldn't bother her.
You wouldn't bother her? A murder is committed and you wouldn't bother her? Well, as of Anchorage, you are off this ship, Mr.
No, please, Captain, don't fire him. He didn't have to search my cabin. He just knew I couldn't kill anybody. Steve knows me too well for that. But he couldn't tell you, Captain, because you have rules about officers and passengers.
Miss Decker, would you please get to the point?
Celia, you don't have to.
It's all right, darling. We're going to be married, Steve and me, as soon as we get to Anchorage. We fell in love just 3 months ago.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Miss Decker, but my first officer is married. He has a wife and 2 kids.
Don't say that. That isn't true. I know it isn't true.
Steve would have told me if he were married. Wouldn't you, Steve? We were going to be married before, Captain. I waited for him. Poor Steve, he tried so desperately to get there. And then I talked to that other man. A Mr. Carter at your union office. He said that same thing. About a wife, I mean. Well, you know how women are. They believe anybody. I went into this pawn shop and I bought this little pistol and some bullets in that little box there, and then I booked passage again. Thinking these wicked, sinful thoughts. Thinking that a fine, decent man had used me as though I were a cloth to wipe his shoe on. But it just wasn't true. I took one look at him and he told me about the telegram. And all that talk about his being married, it just wasn't true anymore.
Miss Decker, I apologize to you. On behalf of the company, I apologize to you for your embarrassment.
Thank you. Steve.
Mr. Lund, I am relieving you of your duties. Mr. Kaler will take over as first officer. Yes, sir. And Mr. Tallman, you will stay away from the rest of my passengers from now on.
I'm just trying to prove my innocence, Captain.
You will stay away from them or I'll have you locked in your cabin. Oh, I'm sorry, but this business with Lund is... Whew. How would you like a cup of coffee?
I would.
I had no reason to kill Vale, Captain. You can't ask me to just sit and wait for the hangman to catch a kid. When this boat docks, the killer goes free.
It makes sense what you say. And I have half a hunch you didn't kill Vale, but I'm forced to hold you. A man with no background?
When Vale came aboard, he must have said something to you about what he was looking for, who he was looking for. Anything like that would help me.
I was only with him a few minutes when he came aboard. He had some documents he was going to leave with me.
Well, that might help. What are they?
He decided to keep them with him.
Let's go take a look.
They weren't on him when he was found, and they weren't in his luggage. Apparently, the killer threw him overboard. I'm sorry, Tom.
So am I. Thanks for the coffee, Captain.
Larry Tallman can run no faster than the ship moves. 12 hours to Ketchikan and the waiting federal authorities. In 12 hours, Larry Tallman will be caught. And with him, Richard Kimball.
Well, it's very little to ask, Captain. You'd be my witness. Thank you.
Yes? Who is it?
It's me, Celia.
Steve. Come in. Oh, come in. It was nice of you to come. I know you're in trouble with the captain.
Well, Celia, I want to talk to you.
About Anchorage. About us.
Honey, what the captain said and what you heard at the union office back in Seattle, it's true. You've got to understand that we can never be married. I do have a wife. Do you understand?
Why don't we go up on deck? It's a perfectly beautiful day.
Celia. Now listen. You remember what we talked about up in Anchorage? Well, it isn't going to happen. It can't happen. I'm sorry. God knows I'm sorry, but it just can't happen.
No, Steve, don't say that. It isn't true.
It is true. I'm sorry, Celia. I'm sorry.
Steve?
Steve? Come in. Captain? I just received this radiogram, Mr. Banning. It concerns you.
There must be some mistake.
Embezzlement usually is a mistake, Mr. Banning.
I can explain this, Captain.
Well, you'll get a chance to do just that at Ketchikan.
Captain, I assure you there's
I am fed up with this rat's nest I've taken aboard this trip. Philandering, embezzlement, murder. I just hope for your sake that this doesn't tie in any way with Vale's death.
No. I had nothing to do with it.
But how do you know this envelope belonged to Vale?
It's got his initials on it, PV. I found it wedged between his bunk and the wall.
What's in it?
Letters. I think they're important.
Are you going to show them to the captain?
I don't think it'll do much good, Miss White. They're in Greek.
Oh.
You know, you were right. The captain told me that Vale was with the War Crimes Commission.
Ah. There were Greeks in the International Brigade.
Well, it's my guess that these letters are from one of the survivors.
It might well be. Suppose something like this. The International Brigade was betrayed. Now, there's no doubt about that. The betrayer is seen at various times and places by the survivors. They write to the War Crimes Commission, saying such a person was seen.
But if they knew who the guilty one was, then surely they would have reported it to the authorities long ago. I mean, there must have been an investigation when the brigade was lost.
But maybe the identity of the betrayer wasn't known at that time. Maybe the Crimes Commission, after years of hunting, finally came up with a prime suspect, got in touch with the survivors asking for information on him.
Or her.
I think that poor Vale was closing in on her, or him, on one of us.
Well, I think it's delicious.
Do you know what I think the captain ought to do?
Miss White, why is it that you always seem to know more than the men? It must be very gratifying to be so smart, what?
Oh, Mr. Moorhead.
Mr. Tallman. There must have been a very good reason why Mr. Vale was put in your cabin.
Well, we were the only bachelors aboard. He didn't have much choice.
Well, after all, he was assigned to you, old boy.
Well, aren't you going to show them to the captain?
Yes, I will. I thought maybe I could get a translation first. There's a man down in the engine room that speaks Greek. I'm going to go down and see him.
You know, he doesn't look like a traitor or a spy at all.
turn around.
No letters, Mrs. Banning. Just blank pieces of paper.
Open the envelope. Give me the letters.
You killed Vale before he could identify you.
Only you know it and I know it.
I know it, Mrs. Banning.
Captain?
I know it. Back in the salon, I thought you were laying a trap. Fine lot of help I am.
Get back.
Vale knew you sold out to the communists, didn't he? Oh, you're really something, Mrs. Banning.
I didn't do it for the communists. I did it for money, Mr. Tallman. For money. What else is there?
Let's get her inside.
Mr. Tallman. I just received a radiogram. Adrian Banning was actually Anna Janoff. She ran a waterfront dive in Korea. Peddled booze, narcotics, anything the traffic would bear. Apparently this place was a pipeline to the enemy. Are you all finished with the federal authorities?
I gave my statement to the marshals. I thought I'd stay over in Ketchikan a couple of days.
I'm sorry I gave you such a rough trip.
I've had rougher.
I guess they'll be facing a grand jury. 23 good men and true.
12 men.
What?
I'm sorry. I think you're right. It is 23 men.
But, yeah.
Larry? I wish you could make the rest of the trip with us. It could have been fun.
Not necessarily. I might turn out to be just as devious as the Bannings.
Can you imagine? You just don't know who you're talking to these days.
No, you don't.
Goodbye.
Larry Tallman, freed of the suspicion of murder, leaves the Alaskan Star. But it is Richard Kimball, still under the sentence of death, who steps ashore. He will stay in this place for as long as it is safe, and then he will move on. It is said that there is no rest for the wicked, nor sometimes for the innocent.